Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Dragon Ball Super Episode 90 review. The title of this episode is See the Wall That Must Be Passed, Goku vs. Gohan. As Gohan finishes training with Piccolo, they got to meet with Goku, Master Roshi, and Tien. Goku and Tien have a small fight against Gohan and Piccolo to practice for the tournament. As Gohan fights both his father and Tenshinhan, Piccolo attacks his two enemies with a strong technique. This eventually results in the area getting destroyed and ending the match. However, Gohan requests to have a one-on-one fight against his father. Goku accepts and both fight equally. Goku transforms into a Super Saiyan 2, Gohan uses his full power and aims to surpass Goku on his own way. Eventually, Gohan makes Goku become a Super Saiyan Blue and perform his Kaioken technique to have a final exchange in which Gohan is defeated. Impressed with his son's improvement, Goku assigns Gohan as the leader of their Universe 17. Meanwhile, Rumshi recruits a powerful fighter named Murichin and his companions to represent Universe 10 in the tournament. Well, okay. Honestly, I find this episode not that impressive, and it felt really dumb and stupid how Toy portrayed the characters. I gave this episode a 5 out of 10. First, I want to address the things I didn't like about this episode. Number 1, 2 versus 2 team battle and how it was handled. I don't mind if Toy could have stretched this episode into two parts. That way we could have seen more action and screen time of this fight. I honestly didn't like how their battles turned out. It felt really rushed and it's less entertaining. The excitement was there, but it didn't reach to the point that I would be like jumping off the edge of my seat and start clapping and cheering. No, it just felt meh, not impressed. It would have been exciting if Tenshinhan could have done something more in this episode, like, using the multiform technique and solar flare. The multiform technique can split into, it can split him into four identical copies with all the same power, while the solar flare can buy Goku and Tenshinhan time to come up a preemptive strike on both Gohan and Piccolo. But look what did Tien do in this episode. He just tells Goku to make, a double team and start dashing straight at them without using his head. Goku, on the other hand, doesn't really care about Tien. He left Tien getting owned by Gohan. Number 2, Goku being an asshole and a complete dumb ass. This episode simply shows what a terrible and selfish prick Son Goku's selfish prick Son Goku's character is. How can he just let Gohan punch Tien right in the stomach? I'm sure Goku sees it coming and, has the amount of time to counter Gohan's fierce punch, but no, he let Tien take that hit. What a scumbag. The way Toy portrayed Goku's character in Super is really different from the early Dragon Ball series. They are making him a certified asshole right there. If Goku keeps acting like this, then I'm afraid his team won't survive the tournament. They're just ruining and mistreating Goku's characterization here. And then number 3, that will be the animation fight choreograph of Goku and Gohan. I absolutely hate the pacing in their fight. I think Toy needed to slow it down a little so we can see how they exchange blows with each other. I know that they are clashing at a crazy amount of speed, but sometimes too much fast forward can be irritating and not pleasing for the viewers. Eventually, it won't be that entertaining and it'll get boring if they keep doing this up. Also, what was the new technique that Gohan used on Tenshinhan with his index finger. Now, that was a surprising and interesting technique, but I'm just really bummed that it was never mentioned how Gohan learned that technique. Like, they could have added some lines there, like Master Roshi got surprised seeing that, then Piccolo starts explaining how he learned from it, blah blah blah. And finally, I really respect Masako Nozawa for portraying her voice on Gohan and Goku. I I always love her performance, and being a fan of her, when I started watching Dragon Ball in Japanese. But in this episode, her voice gets too irritating and cringy. It makes me want to mute the audio just to get rid of that annoying sound she is making. Like, stop it, please. Ugh. And the last one will be the power level gets really confusing, and it makes absolutely no sense. Goku goes Super Saiyan 2 against Gohan was unnecessary, or maybe he thinks of himself that Gohan must be that weak, and Gohan needs to prove to his father that his ultimate form is finally back. I think it would have been acceptable if Goku went Super Saiyan 3 instead. The only disadvantage in his third transformation is his ki level will drain faster, which means it cannot survive in a longer fight. So that's pretty much it, the things that I don't like about this episode, and now we're going to discuss the things that I like in this episode. So, first things first is Tenchin Han. Oh, well, despite of getting beaten by Gohan's one-punch assault, it is understandable that Tenshin Han wasn't geared up enough for a tag team battle, knowing that he was busy focusing on his dojo and his students to learn how to control their keys, and pretty much doesn't have time for extensive training since the Cell Games arc. I mean, he still does a little training during the Boo arc, but his drive, his passion had really lost its way, and his mindset. Tenshin Han doesn't need to train anymore because Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan are there to protect the Earth in case a dark phenomenal force comes in to invade them. Also, I wanted to point out where Tenshin Han had trouble aiming his Kikoho or Tri-Beam on Piccolo because of the damage he took from Gohan, who hasn't even transformed into his mystic form yet. I love that scene Toy did there where Tenshin Han's vision was getting all blurry and he doesn't want to waste his energy if he misses that shot. So yeah, I love how it was done that way. And number two would be the Universe 10. We have finally got to introduce some new fighters in the Universe 10, and I'm happy that Kaioshin, somehow acknowledges Zamasu from the Goku Block arc, which I like that they, bring him up. And number three would be Piccolo and Gohan teaming up. Now, undeniably, their team up in this episode is my favorite. They have a great chemistry, great combination, and an awesome dynamic duo in this fight. The only thing I didn't like what they were doing was Piccolo concentrating his ki to unleash his old technique. A technique that was used before the Dragon Ball series called the Super Explosive Wave. I don't think this is the right choice to use this technique because it will affect everyone around the explosion. So I believe that it's too risky and it shouldn't be used in the tournament of power. So there you have it, guys. Overall, I did enjoy this episode. The pacing was too fast, but yeah, the music was okay. There are some nice animations in this episode, but there's just too many, fast forward things that was going on. So Toy could have done a better job on this episode. And I don't think I'll rewatch this episode on Blu-ray. I'm sure a lot of Gohan fans out there are not happy about my reviews saying, but Thunder Trunks, Gohan got strong and he is stronger than Krillin and Tien and Piccolo and even 17. Yes, I get it. I know Gohan got somehow surpassed them. It's just how Toy handled this episode, which I'm unimpressed and unsatisfied. So deal with it. So if you like my take on this review, then hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe if you want to hear more reviews, and let me know your thoughts on this episode by leaving a feedback on the comment section below. This is your boy, Thunder Trunks. Have a good one.